Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on Grab Your Keys. I have Megan Popoleo here, who is the VP of Growth for the O'Connor Group. I have known her for years. She is a peer, a friend. I know her from the Entrepreneurs Organization, and then we're in Provisors together. She's a past client of mine. So I love that I'm going to introduce her to all of our listeners today. So, Megan, thank you so much for being with Grab Your Keys.
Of course, Sue. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here and have a great conversation.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit what do you do? What's a VP of growth do?
Yeah, every day is a little different. Never know what to expect, really. But at the O'Connor Group, we do outsourced people operations, which basically means we have an HR outsourcing function and a recruiting outsourcing function. And so my role oversees the revenue for the company. So I oversee the sales function, marketing, client engagement, market expansion, anything that is going to help the company grow. That kind of falls under me. Growth.
How did you get into this business?
All right. So I have a great story. So I have a really wonderful female owner that I work for, Marsha O'Connor.
That's amazing.
She is the most generous, just trustworthy businesswoman that I've ever met. And we met probably 12 years ago. And we went to coffee. So it was one of those situations where it's like, okay, go, you have to meet my friend. Let me meet my friend. We get to Starbucks together. I wasn't looking for a new job. We meet at the Gateway Starbucks. And 4 hours later, I was working for Marsha. And I was like, what just happened? I'm like, this awesome woman who's growing her company. I kind of went home in a pinball because I was like to my husband, I was like, I love this woman. I think it's going to be such a cool experience and adventure, but I hate HR. So I'm like, what do I do here? I'm like, HR to me, my first impression of HR was, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. It's going to be red tape, blah, blah, blah.
Benefits, what's working, what's not working, what are your 3 options, open enrollment, all that other crazy stuff.
Yes. I'm like, all the things that people don't want to do, and I had been in, and I was in nonprofit, I was in leadership in a nonprofit, and all that stuff, it wasn't interesting to me, but I also recognized that I wasn't in the right seat. And so I took this chance with Marsha, and I was in this phenomenal culture of a company where I came to find out how much I love HR and I love recruiting and I love all the people parts of the business. Now, so I started that way. Within a couple of months, I started consulting for one of our clients in the private equity space. And I went to go actually work for them for about 3.5 years. And Marsha was the one to encourage me to take that job. She said, this is a phenomenal opportunity. You're going to be able to utilize your skill set and gain a whole new one. And if you ever want to come back, I will hire you back that day. And I was like, what more could you ask for in a legal? So I went there and I worked there for a bit. I learned so much. And when Marsha was growing and the O'Connor Group was growing, we stayed friends. And she said, what are you doing after you have a baby? I had a baby on the way. And she said, why don't you come back? And so I did that about 6 years ago. I came back. So all in all, I've been with the company for about 10 years. And it's been an incredible journey. And HR and recruiting is so not what I expected. It's so much more.
Yeah, that's amazing. What do you feel with your tenure that you've had, that you've had a lot of success, young, you're fast paced, have a growing family. What do you feel your 3 keys to success has been?
So I would say the first one is I can't remember where I heard this. I would love to give this person a shout out for their quote, but it stuck with me years ago. And it's happy leaving the house in the morning and happy returning home to your house at night.
Right.
And it really, finding something that you love to do, but then also feeling happiness outside in your personal life, like having that mix is critical. And so I feel very lucky that I work hard to make sure both of those things have happiness in them. My second thing would be forget work-life balance. That's just like out the window. And I kind of focus on this.
Like, I just want to have a happy balance. Like, don't you just want to slap them in the face?
Yeah, working. And I just smile and I'm like, okay, you know, balance. And listen, that maybe work for some people, but for me, like my brain is always just constantly going. I need a blend of both. And so one of the things we really practice at the O'Connor Group is like this flexible hybrid schedule that allows you to make your kids' games, go to doctor's appointments, and then catch up on things when you need to at night or the weekend. And, you know, I try to incorporate my kids into my work life, and it pays off because I never feel like I'm kind of shutting one or the other down.
Yeah, so I feel that was great also with my career. I was able to like go to the kids' games, go to doctor's appointments, but also after I put them to bed, I was able to do whatever I needed to do to catch up with the rest of my and finish up what I needed to do for the day.
Right. And it's like you were running a company. So like doing that with little kids is actually there. I don't think there is a balance possible. No. And so, you know, I think that blend of just being able to do both at the same time and do both things that you love, right? Mm-hmm. I would say my third one is really easy and simple said, but not as easy when you're actually in practicing, but is just saying yes and stop saying no to opportunities. Say yes to any opportunity that comes your way, a conversation, a relationship, opportunity that maybe puts you at some risk. I just think that if you can get out of your daily comfort zone and saying yes to whatever else could be out there, you know, you just have so many endless possibilities. And that's kind of how I got to where I was, by saying yes. Yeah. So I would say those three things. And then one other funny thing, this is not, you know, this is more of a joke, but in a daily routine of some, you know, I wake up very, very, very early. I have my day before I, you know, start on the computer or my kids. And I think if you have this look good, feel good mentality, like you know this because you love to put a nice outfit together. The better you feel in however you look at the way wellness is for yourself, I feel like the better, the more you're gonna, you know, kind of crush your
1000% agree with that. And I feel that when people see you within seconds, they make a determination about who you are. Mm-hmm. I mean, right, wrong, good, bad, whatever it is. Yeah. And if you like the way you look and the way you feel, then you're going to perceive the positive image that you want everyone to see. And I totally agree with that. No one's actually said that, but I totally agree with you that, you know, if you look good, you feel good.
It is. And it's like, and it could be like, you know, emotionally, like if you wake up and you didn't have good sleep and you just don't feel yourself, your day's not going to start on the right foot. So it could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be mental, anything, you know, whatever you need to do to get yourself to be in a good place. That is how you're going to.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also try to reset as I'm walking into my office, because I've noticed like over years and years, if I walk into the office in a bad mood, then the entire office is in a bad mood by the end of the day. So like every time I like walk, I literally take maybe 6 steps from my parking spot to the front door. And I have to, no matter what call I just got off of, no matter what's happened, you know, what a good, bad, and different, when I open that door, I'm like,
yeah, you got to set the tone. They're looking at you as like where the bar is of how this day is going to go. And so I totally agree. I think that's great. That's great advice that you.
And if I want to set it off, I can set it off in minutes. Like,
I have zero doubt about that. I have no doubt.
Like what a bad mood will do. So, and then I'm like, why is everybody in a bad mood?
You gotta keep people thinking. Yeah, you gotta keep people on their toes, you know?
So, what is one challenge that you have faced that you know, that shaped who you are today?
Gosh, lots of little challenges over my journey, I guess professionally and personally, but I've been some interesting professional challenges. And one of my former companies, it wasn't run with the utmost integrity as I would maybe want to live. And, you have to make a choice. Is it going to be, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over? You can make a lot of money. You can maybe go down a path of overlooking some things, or you want to go work for a place that aligns with your values.
Right.
And I think I challenge any young person to do that on the earlier side of their career, of a kind of decide where you want to align yourself, what type of reputation you want to have, make a choice, and you don't want to learn the hard way. Yeah. So I think there could be, that's just a great kind of just a life lesson that
is a great life lesson.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Where do you see the HR industry revolving and evolving over, the next couple of years with AI and all the craziness that's coming along with that? Where do you see that?
Yeah. AI is already diving into the recruiting. Oh my gosh, recruiting is going to be changing so rapidly. It already is. But when it comes to HR, we've kind of used the term fractional HR for quite a while now. And I thought about, whenever I thought about the word fractional, I thought about a CFO. I don't know why. So where my brain went, finance and accounting, like a fractional model. And now every single industry has a fractional this, a fractional this, a fractional this. And so I noticed that, with all these generations in the workforce now, the newest generation is going to move into this, I want multiple forms of income.
Yes.
And fractional is just going to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's kind of what we expect from our line of business on the HR side, is that jobs are going to change. Job descriptions are going to change. Qualifications are going to change. A lot of companies are going to skill-based hiring rather than saying, okay, you need a 40-year degree. They can have the skill set instead. And so I just think that the job market in general is changing with lots of fractional opportunities and different avenues for companies. So I think that's going to change a lot. I think most industries will experience that.
Yeah. So what's one piece of advice that you use all the time? I know I ask all the hard questions.
I kind of go back to my 3 things of saying yes.
Saying yes, yeah. I think that saying yes is great, and just walking through every door that opens. That's how I opened CLG, is I just walked through every door that opened.
Yeah.
And, just allowed it to open. And whatever came my way, I just walked right through it. I walked right into it.
Yeah.
Question though, well, how do you think it's different to work for a female owner of a company rather than a male owner of a company? Do you think that's different?
Yeah.
The culture? What do you think?
I do. I think it's dependent on the person. So I will say that. I think it's depending on how that person, that owner, is decided that their company was going to be. I got very lucky with meeting Marcia that day we met in Starbucks, because I would have never imagined that I would have the opportunity to be on this journey of creating what I want in an organization, even though she's the owner. I mean, we have this incredible team of 60 people around the country across all stages of life. And we have an opportunity for everyone. There's opportunities to advance your career, be hybrid, be remote, get into every single industry, try something new, have awesome benefits. There's just, we work really hard, but then we have this culture of just let's be in this together, this absolute teamwork mentality that I got really lucky. Not everyone has that. Now, I will say, as a working mom, and a working mom is actually the number one employee in the workforce right now.
Wow. That's great to know.
It's an interesting stat. And I will say, Marcia gets it. And I'm not saying working dads don't. My husband works his butt off and he's a phenomenal dad. And, when it comes to the day-to-day things, she fully understands. and, knows the responsibilities that a working mom does have. And again, I would argue that a working parent, I would say, because
Right.
again, so I would say it really depends on the person wanting to create that for themselves. But we're lucky that Marcia kind of gets it,
Right.
and doesn't ever question like our motives or our ability to go above and beyond. Because when it comes to time for who's getting promoted, who's getting raises, no one's ever overlooked based on what they're doing in their personal life. It's about how hard they're working.
Yeah, that's super fantastic. And I know you guys do have a great culture, which culture is super important in today's workforce too. I think everybody with working from home and then also coming back to the office, maybe being a hybrid, they want to be part of something.
Yep.
Yeah,
they want to be part of something. That's right.
And that's so important because people do want to be part of something. And it's super important for you to have the different events. And I know Marcia's all about events, and you guys are all about having things, which is so fantastic. If you could mentor your younger self, would you just tell them to keep on saying yes to everything? Or you already did that as your younger self? What would you change?
I'll tell you exactly what I would say. I think now being in the workforce for, over 15 years, I would just say like, calm down. Like I want to use a curse word, but I wasn't going. I would just say, just chill out, because things that I thought were such a big deal when I was younger were not, and won't ever be that big of a deal. And it's not because I couldn't regulate emotion. It's because, I so badly wanted to make a great first impression, worked so hard, first one in, last one to leave, and these little things that I thought were going to be just like tragic were not. And I look back and I laugh and I'm like, I cannot believe that I was in such a tizzy over this. And so now when I see some of my teammates, getting worked up, oh, I forgot to respond back. It's okay.
Yes.
Like, it's okay. People are
wait.
humans. They'll wait for you. They'll respond. Don't worry. It's okay. It's like, you do the best that you can, and you just need to calm down. You need to calm down. I would say.
I always say the same thing about making a mistake. Like, we're human. We make mistakes. As long as we can fix the mistake we made, like, it's okay.
Yep.
Just own it. Say it was a mistake, and now go fix it. And it makes it all better. And we want to be human. We don't want everything to be electronic. We want things to be human, and people make mistakes, and people can't get to everything immediately. And that's okay.
It is okay. And I think that's you nailed it though, when you said the accountability piece. Like, for me, I just try to operate in that way of saying, I totally dropped the ball. I should have gotten back to you sooner, and I didn't. I forgot. Or this, I don't make an excuse. And I think that if everyone can operate that in that way, you respect people so much more.
We've all had that, that number one, we all have that dream of like in college, not knowing where your classroom is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So in the workforce, we all have that nightmare of waking up and it's not even a nightmare. It's just life, and being like, holy crap, I forgot to do that. Or I forgot to lock that loan, or I forgot to do this. And it's okay. Because you can be like, and I wouldn't say that I wouldn't forget to lock a loan, but I forgot to turn in that paperwork. I forgot to send that email. I forgot to do this. And, then it was okay because I ended up doing it better, or it ended up being better off. Everything, I feel that everything happens for a reason.
For sure.
And we just need to lean into that reason and be okay with it.
Yeah. And people are going to trust you more. Like, if you say to them, I totally forgot and I'm going to get it done right now, they're going to be, if you make up a little lie, I would never want to call that person again. Like, just own it, and like, be confident in your decision, and you can always go back and, fix it. I
say the same thing with answering a question with the wrong answer.
Yep.
Like, say you don't know.
Yeah.
And then get back to them, because then when you get back to them, you're giving another reason to call. You're showing that you're accountable because you're getting back to them. Now you need to get back to them with the answer.
Totally
And
agree.
I think that one definitely needs to be right. But
Totally
don't give an answer without knowing it.
Yep. Totally agree. We're just saying, I'll get back. Hey, I don't know, but I'm going to get right back to you. That's exactly how we try to operate.
Yeah. So besides having a baby, what's in the future for Megan? I know, third. That's like a total great working mom.
It is. I haven't, like, if we did this podcast in like September, October, I don't know, I'd be as joyful in the moment, probably.
Yeah.
Tired. So third girl on the way. I am coming back to work, and what's really awesome is my husband is going to get 4 or 5 weeks, I forget what it is, of parental leave, and he has to take them consecutively. So when I go back to work, he's taking the leave. And so he'll take the leave, and he'll get kind of that one-on-one time. And, you just make it work. And it's going to be, I have 2 really exciting opportunities on my team open, a salesperson and a client engagement person. So we're growing and hoping to get these people up to speed by the time I go out. And, kind of always staying up to date with what's going on in small to middle market companies, and continue to grow and advance and in the field. And, I think it's going to be a great year. Now, the thought of maternity leave, being out while your team is like operating for 12 weeks is a little bit of FOMO. It's like, what's going on over there? And you really try to kind of have that separation to be present, but there is a sense of like panic.
Right.
But it all comes down to trusting your teammates, trusting that everything.
I think this will be a good exercise too.
Absolutely. There's no choice.
And you have a great team, so you can definitely rely on them for sure. So, well, I can't wait to watch from the sidelines. I really enjoyed, being your friend, getting to know you, and you're amazing. Your family's amazing. Marsha's company is amazing. The O'Connor Group, if anyone has any HR needs at all or recruiting needs at all, the HR a group of the O'Connor Group and all of the company is amazing. And so so how can people get in touch with you? We'll put all of your stuff down below.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I just wanted to say one more quick thing, is that you have been critical, you and your team have been critical to my awesome year of kind of moving into our dream house. And not that this podcast is not about that, but I think it's really important to surround yourself with people that you trust, because it's not it wasn't a fun process looking for a house for a year and a half. And so feeling that I could call you immediately and just have that instant trust on getting me exactly what I needed for us to be able to move into this house in time for the baby to come, it just has been,
you were like, what do we do? We're not going to sell our house right away. What's the total? How do we do this? And I was like, don't worry about it. We got you. We'll do whatever you need to do. And it all just fell into place. And really, and I said this to you back then too, having a great realtor and having a great mortgage person operating as a team is super important, because we were able to solidify the house that you were buying and then work on it along the way. We could, we definitely had some hurdles that we had to overcome, but they were little ones. But the little ones we can all overcome. And as long as we have a full picture of everything, we can figure anything out, is what I always say. So I appreciate that. I loved working with you and your family. It was so great.
It was so easy. It was like, I never panicked once, and that's not, my normal type A DNA. So you were great. So thank you to you and your team is my point. And so, you can reach out to us at the O'Connor Group at www.tocgrp.com, and follow us on LinkedIn. We are always providing the best updates around all things people operations.
Yes, you guys do have the best LinkedIn posts, and Marsha loves to always tag me, so I always see them coming through. So I was like, I always see them coming through, and I love that. But thank you. And I love what you said about my most favorite thing that you said today is, and I'm going to use it, so I'm going to steal it from you. Happy when you leave, happy when you come home. And we're going to find out who said that, because I'm sure some people will tell us, but
he's going to be like, it's
we're going to ask chat in a little bit. We'll ask chat after this.
Yeah. So. It's stuck for a long time, and it's, it's critical. So thanks. So thanks for having me. It was great.
No problem. I love that. Have a great day. And thank you so much for being on.
Yep. Thanks again. Thanks, Sue.